Welcome back, student. Today we will do first poem, that is Dust of Snow. Okay, and this is from your same book, First Flight book. Okay, I hope you all are ready. So we are going to start the poem Dust of Snow, written by the poet Robert Frost. I hope you all can see there are some dust particles of snow also that I have drawn at the corner. Fine. First of all, it is written by Robert Frost. He is the one who has written. I hope you all remember in 9th standard you have read that poem. Two roads traversed in the wood. Fine. Road not taken. And your second poem, Fire and Ice, is of the same poet, Robert Frost. Okay. So, what is this dust of snow? Dust of snow is, he is referring to the very tiny particles, small particles of snow. That is the reason he is calling them as dust, because that snow particles are very small, very tiny. So that is the reason dust word is used. Okay. Now in this poem we are having only 8 verses, only 8 lines. Let me first read once for you. The way a crow shook down on me, the dust of snow from a hemlock tree, has given my heart a change of mood and saved some part of a day I ruled. Okay. What is mentioned? The way a crow. So here the very first thing is mentioned is crow. So the way in which the crow has shook down. Shook is shake. I hope it is very easy word. Shook is shake. Okay, so what is mentioned over here, that the way a crow has shake down some dust of snow on me, on the poet. The dust of snow from a hemlock tree. The name of the tree mentioned is hemlock, and the meaning is already given in your book. A poisonous plant with a small white flower. So it is a poisonous plant or a tree, you can say, and in which we are having white color flowers. So what is important is that it is a poisonous plant that is used in the poem. Very first thing the poet has used is crow, and the second thing the poet has used is hemlock tree. Both of these things, both of these two things, hemlock tree and crow, signifies the sadness, the gloom, and in the same way, in the very starting of the poem, the poet is shown to us like he is very sad. So in the starting of the poem it is mentioned that the poet was in a bad mood. Why it is so? It is not mentioned. And what is mentioned? That the poet has used 2 of the things, hemlock tree, which is a poisonous tree, and he has used a crow, which also signifies sadness and gloom. So the poet has used both of these negative things, inauspicious thing, and he is saying that he was in a bad mood. What the crow has done? The crow has shook down some dust of snow on the poet. He was already in bad mood, and now what has happened? He was just passing by one of the tree and some dust of snow fell down on which part of the body, it is also not mentioned. Whether on his head, on his shoulder, that is not mentioned. First paragraph is clear. Was given my heart a change of mood. Now what happened? Once he was walking by the tree, what happened? Some dust of snow, it is not falling, some dust of snow fell down on his shoulder or on his head, and there was a instant change in his mood. Even though these things are gloomy, signifies negative thing, but still these 2 negative part of the nature give something positive towards the poet. His mood get changed. Earlier he was in the mad mood, now his mood got changed. So his mood got lifted up and his terrible day got changed into a good one. Has given my heart a change of mood. Suddenly something happened and he felt like now I am happy. and saved some part of the day I had rued. So rued is held in regret, that he was in regret of something, he was not feeling well. So what is rude meaning? It is already mentioned in your book also, that he was not feeling good on that day, he was not in a good mood on that day, he was just thinking about bad things. Fine, but this dust of snow has changed. So what is the message of the poem? Even the poem, as you have seen that we have covered it so fastly, and it is having only 8 verses in it, and we have completed it in a very great speed. Fine, so it is very simple in a short poem, but it is having the deeper meaning in it. And the meaning of the poem is, whether the nature is giving us the negative things in front of us, but still we should accept all of the part of the nature in the positive way only. We don't know whether that bad things can also lift up our days too. Okay, so we should accept the way the nature is blessing us. It can be any inauspicious thing also. The same way poet has changed his mood and he just saved the rest part of his day. How he saved the rest part of the day? Because earlier he was not feeling good, earlier he was in the bad mood, he doesn't want to enjoy that day, but once this incident happened with him, his rest part of the mood, his rest part of the day got saved, because now he is not going to call that day a terrible day. Fine. Now students, the literary devices, whenever you are doing any poem, then you are supposed to, I hope you all have written down these all things. So whenever we are doing any poem, then we are supposed to do the literary devices side by side. Very first is rhyming scheme. So I hope you know how we find out the rhyme scheme of the poem, by looking at the last word of the verses. The way a crow, it is crow. Next is shook down on me the dust of snow from a hemlock tree. Check out the pronunciation of it, how we are ending it, rhyming it. Crow, snow, same it is. So it is the very first one, I am referring it as A, and it is having the same sound like snow. So again I am writing it as A. Me, tree, same, we are writing it as B. So rhyming scheme of your very first stanza is A, B, A, B. In the same way, hurt, mood, part, root. So it is going to be hurt and part is same, CC, and next is DD. So the next one will be CD, CD. So this is your very first literary device. Okay, rhyming scheme, I hope it is clear. Now let's move on to the second rhyming scheme. Second rhyming scheme is assonance. First time you are hearing this word. It is, let me write down, assonance. Very easy it is. Assonance is whenever we are having the prominence of vowel in any of the verse of the stanza. Let me tell you, your second verse, your second line of the stanza, shook down on me. It is shook down on me. This is your second verse of your very first stanza. In this, pay attention, here it is O, O, these are vowel, and we are having the prominent of vowel sound here, the prominent of O vowel sound here. So whenever we are having we are giving the importance to the vowel sound in a single line, then it is assonance. It can be O, I, E, anyone, any of the vowels. Okay, assonance is clear, fine. Next, we are done with 2. Let's move on to the third one. So your third one is enjambment. Yeah, enjambment. what does it mean? In your complete poem, enjambment literary device is used. How? Because here in your complete poem, we are continuously speaking and we are continuously referring the first line to the second line, and we are not using any punctuation there. The way a crow shook down on me, moving on to the second verse without any punctuation. The dust of snow from a hemlock tree has given my heart a change of mood. You can see the poet is continuously writing down without any punctuation sound word at the end of the verse. It is called enjambment. So you can have this enjambment literary device in several of your poems of your 10th standard. Assonance also you can have, because in various lines of your poems, of your stanzas, you will find whether you can find O vowel or you can find other vowels words too. Clear? So we are today doing the 3 literary devices. That is done. Now the very first question is, what is the dust of snow? That I have already discussed with you. These are the very tiny particles of snow. That is the reason the poet refers them to be as dust. So this is important, we will do. What does the poet say has changed his mood? So the way the crook shook down on the poet, the dust of snow has changed his mood. Okay. How has the poet mood changed? How it got changed? Because once that dust of snow fell on his shoulder or on his body, then he felt like something good has happened. Next is the frost. Here the poet, the frost, has used several nature part in the poem. That we know, crow and hemlock both are inauspicious, negative references mentioned here, and these both things lifted up the mood of poet. So these both things we are going to learn. So in this poem we are going to refer only question number 1 and 2, not the third one, it is not important, and do learn the word meanings too side by side. Hardly we have 2 words that are new one for you. So learn that, learn the literary devices too, and learn the true meaning of the poem. I hope it is clear to you all. Thank you, and if you like this, then you can like and subscribe my channel too. Thank you everyone. See you next time in my next class.